What A'ja Wilson just did was unprecedented. I mean, on so many levels. She's arguably, allegedly, the reason Caitlin Clark was assaulted the entire 2024 basketball season in the W. I mean, what A'ja Wilson just did is really like there's no coming back from this.
A'ja Wilson's carefully crafted positive vibes image just took a serious hit, and fans are finally seeing the cracks. For months, she played it cool, acting unbothered while her supporters went after Caitlin Clark over the Nike signature shoe drama. But now, the truth is out, and the irony is off the charts. During her own shoe launch, A'ja casually dropped a bombshell. She had locked in her Nike deal 2 years ago. That's right, 2 whole years while her fans were out there fuming, convinced. Nike was disrespecting their MVP in favor of Caitlin. And what did A'ja do? Nothing. She smiled, stayed silent, and let the outrage run wild.
Wilson was oddly silent, but complicit. All right, why was she complicit? Because, well, she knew she was getting a signature shoe for 2 years, and she let Caitlin Clark take all that hate.
Let's take a step back. Remember when social media erupted over Caitlin Clark's Nike deal? Fans were furious. How could Caitlin get a signature shoe before A'ja? The outrage was non-stop, and through it all, A'ja acted like she was above it. Cool, collected, unbothered. But here's the twist. She wasn't just staying quiet, she was adding to the noise, with vague tweets about respect and deserving. More. She gave her fans just enough to keep fanning the flames.
And so for Nike to put her in the position where she then has to go on social media and kind of cool her fans and like urge them to be patient and almost like defend Nike, it's such a disappointment, but it's not a surprise because Nike has done it before.
But here's the reality. A'ja was never in the dark. She knew her signature shoe was already locked in, designed, and just waiting for its big reveal. She knew the recognition, the deal, and the spotlight were all coming her way. Yet, instead of stepping in to set the record straight, she let the outrage spiral. That's not just staying silent, that's letting the drama do the work for you.
Do you have any ideas what you would want your future sneaker to look like?
I think the biggest thing for me is just I would love a low top shoe. I play in a low top shoe, so that's something that I would love to have carry over and something that looks good. That's so key to me.
Let's be honest. A'ja let Caitlin Clark take the heat while she reaped the benefits. She watched as a rookie got torn apart. Online, never stepping in, never correcting the false narrative. And for what? More engagement? A more fired-up fan base? Let's not pretend. Wilson's fans have been after Caitlin since the day she stepped into the WNBA. And this shoe controversy, it was the perfect excuse to go all in.
A'ja Wilson, who? Why? Yeah, she's some WNBA player. Who? No, she's one of the all-time greatest players ever. Why?
But now, the truth is out, and suddenly all those diehard A'ja supporters have gone quiet. Interesting how that works. Turns out, Nike wasn't the villain here. A'ja and those who pushed this false narrative were. While Caitlin Clark was just focused on her game, A'ja sat back and let the outrage swirl around her. So here's the real question. If she knew, her deal was done, her shoe was coming, and her legacy was intact, why let her fans run with the idea that she was being disrespected? Why let them act like she was being snubbed when, in reality, her moment was already set in stone? It would have taken just one simple message. Relax, my shoe is coming. That's it. The drama would have ended. But instead, she let the noise grow, let Caitlin take the heat, and watched as her fans painted her as some forgotten underdog. And now, the facts are out, and the same people who were crying foul, they're suddenly scrambling, acting like they weren't the loudest voices in the room.
And these WNBA fans that did not want to see Caitlin Clark come in and do what she did, which was dominate the league. Led the league in assists as a rookie. After the season, I think I counted she broke something in the neighborhood of 63 records last year. Either rookie records or just flat records by anybody, not even a rookie. And all these fans have been mad. And all the while, A'ja Wilson sat back and was just plenty happy to play the victim. She could have come out and made some kind of a statement that would have called off the dogs. Nah, she didn't do it.
But let's be real. This was never just about a sneaker deal. It's about how Caitlin Clark has been treated since the moment she arrived. She didn't step into admiration, she stepped into resistance. And why? Because she brought unprecedented attention to the league. Because she turned casual viewers into WNBA fans overnight. Because Nike saw her influence, her talent, and said, this is the next big thing.
How could they give Caitlyn a shoe before they give Asia one? Oh, how could they do this? How could they treat Asia like this? Two-time MVP at the time, just before she even won the damn third one. They is wrong for doing this.
How does this happen? How does the player who's reshaped the WNBA, the most popular female athlete in America, the one whose games are drawing NBA-level crowds, get pushed to the sidelines? It's simple. The league, the veterans, the old guard, they don't want her. They'll gladly cash in on the profits she brings, but they won't celebrate her. Instead of recognizing Caitlin Clark's impact, they choose to tolerate her. They use her stardom to raise the profile of the league, but when the criticism starts flying, they don't defend her. They treat her like an outsider, as if she hasn't worked for every ounce of success she's earned.
You want to know what I'm selling? I'm selling greatness! Asia Wilson, 3-time MVP. We got Jordan Childs, we got Juju Watkins, we got Sha'Carri Richardson, and we got Arena Sabalenka.
Champion.
Hustling is not easy, but I love it. Sabrina, I know you want a T. Thinking about it? You're thinking about it. They're gonna go fast, kind of like Sha'Carri. I accept card. Where's the card? Come on.
Oh wait, but what's in that box?
These don't come out till March. They may or may not be shirts, but if I tell you, I'm gonna have to kill you. Oh, you want one of these? Nike.com. Who wants a t-shirt?
Aja Wilson's silence is just a piece of a much bigger problem. She didn't have to say anything harsh or even mention Caitlin Clark's name. All she had to do was sit back, let her fans do the dirty work, and watch the drama unfold. And for a while it worked, until the truth came to light during her shoe release. But here's the kicker. Caitlin's still standing. She's still breaking records, still packing arenas, still making headlines. The WNBA might try to push her to the sidelines, but the truth is the fans see it. The sponsors see it. And deep down, even those who criticize her know one thing. Caitlin Clark is the future. The real damage here, it's not to Caitlin. She's built for this. The real harm is to the league. You can't treat your top player like a problem and expect growth. Every shove, every snub, every fake controversy, it only makes the WNBA look small, insecure, and out of touch. The facts don't lie. Ticket sales don't lie. Packed arenas don't lie. Record viewership doesn't lie. Caitlin Clark is the WNBA's biggest asset, and the way she's been treated, it's disgraceful.
My favorite thing of all. So let's take a listen to this. Nike actually put this one out after the fact.
You want to know what I'm selling? Rookie of the Year, Caitlin Clark. I know you want a T.
Okay.
Nike.com.
They re-recorded it. Like, that's not even, I mean that. That's like, listen to it.
Sure, here's a different approach. Aja Wilson might have scored her signature shoe, and yeah, that's a big deal. But the way everything played out, the fake outrage, the attacks on Caitlin, the false narratives, it's hard to ignore. It's clear that for all the talk about growing the game, some people in charge would rather protect their own image than embrace real growth. Caitlin Clark is that growth. And whether some want to admit it or not, she's here to stay. As for Aja Wilson, congrats on the sneaker deal, but maybe next time, step up and use your platform for something bigger than just launching shoes.
Not looking good for Nike yet again, dog. I don't even know how many videos I'm gonna make today about Nike, but it looked like Nike is definitely the star of the day. All started with the Super Bowl commercial, them snubbing Caitlin, them putting Caitlin in, them fixing the commercial, them dropping Asia's shoe. Now, come to find out, Asia Wilson has single-handedly killed the WNBA media credibility forever. Yes, oh my goodness, these women was lying. Oh God almighty. They made such a big deal over Caitlin Clark getting a shoe deal over Asia.
Wilson is out here basking in the spotlight, celebrating her signature shoe deal and showing off her new A1 sneaker like it's a championship trophy. And honestly, she has every right to be proud. Landing a signature shoe is no small feat, especially in women's basketball. But as Aja revels in the moment, she might not realize that her success has unintentionally highlighted a glaring double standard that's been hanging over the WNBA ever since Caitlin Clark made her debut.
Cheryl Swoops made news. Now, she made news last week when she sat up there and was applauding Indiana Fever players, but then forgot to mention Caitlin Clark. She jumped all in my ass because I sat up there and said, hey, how you going to ignore Caitlin Clark? You know what she brings to the table. How you just going to... Not an accident. Cheryl Swoops is a champion.
Let's be honest. Imagine if Caitlin Clark had been the one to score her signature sneaker first. Picture this. Caitlin signs a massive deal and Nike drops the Caitlin 1. You already know the reaction would have been explosive. The same voices that are now celebrating Aja Wilson would have had a mile-long list of complaints. She hasn't earned it, they'd shout. What about the veterans? They'd cry. And you can bet who would have been leading the charge. Cheryl Swoops. Of course. And guess what? This is exactly the drama that unfolded months ago.
Backlash on this was quite significant. Everybody was calling out, why are you not marketing your most marketable player? And I cannot disagree because Nike, why? Your stock is going down. Do you realize that Caitlin Clark's jersey sold out right after she was drafted with an increase in over 1,000% reported for the Indiana Fever?
And sure enough, here comes Cheryl Swoops. The moment Aja Wilson drops her shoe, Cheryl is front and center, cheering like it's a college pep rally. It's almost comical how predictable this is, right? When Aja gets her moment, it's all love. But when Caitlin Clark is out here smashing records, carrying the league, and earning every deal in sight, suddenly Swoops steps in as the WNBA's self-appointed gatekeeper. She's quick to remind us how things were different in her day, all while downplaying Clark's dominance.
The press tour has officially took off running. We got Aja Wilson talking about, oh, I've been waiting 2 years for this. Wait, 2 years for this? 2 years for this, 2025, 2023, CC's announced in 2024, delayed, not denied in 2024, Backlash all 2024. I've been waiting 2 years for this, and then we got Cheryl Swoops, there it is. Swoops, there it is. Cheryl Swoops couldn't help but embarrass herself.
No one's saying Aja Wilson doesn't deserve her moment. 3-time MVP, champion, she's earned it all. But let's be real, the double standard is glaring. When Caitlin Clark takes the spotlight, suddenly people start crying favoritism. But when Aja Wilson steps into the light, it's all about how her hard work is paying off. That's the part that doesn't add up. And this goes way beyond a shoe deal. From the moment Caitlin Clark joined the league, she's been treated differently. Instead of support, she faced cheap shots, unfair fouls, and petty comments. Meanwhile, fans started turning their anger at her, projecting all the league's frustrations onto her. You'd think someone responsible for breaking viewership records, boosting ticket sales, and bringing in new fans would be embraced. Instead, Caitlin Clark has been treated like an outsider, and that's the real issue here.